What's good, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about content creation tips for 2025. As we all know, the social media landscape is forever changing, but I think especially in 2025, we're going to start to see more changes. I really want to discuss how you yourself can grow on social media next year and some things that I'm going to be doing to continue growing my platform. So whether you're starting from the very beginning or you've been doing this for a while, this video will hopefully be helpful to you. I've been doing this now for 5 years. I started content, no, it's been like 6 years, and I've been doing it full time now for 3 years. And I'm a marketing major. I also studied entrepreneurship. So I find this stuff very interesting from like a creative perspective, but also a business perspective. So we're really going to dive into both things, how to form a relationship with content creation that is healthy, that makes you feel good and excited, but also that makes you a lot of money. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. First thing I kind of want to touch on is long form versus short form content. What is going to be the best move? What's more popular in 2025? As we know, TikTok may be getting banned, so we don't fully know what the scene is going to look like. I've seen a lot of people have conversations about long form content becoming more popular again and people trying to lean into YouTube more. And my advice, or what I really believe truly, is that long form and short form content are both going to last for a long time. Even if TikTok goes away, we can see Instagram and YouTube are both prioritizing short form content quite a bit, right? Like YouTube Shorts is getting really big. YouTube is putting a lot of effort into that program. And same thing with Instagram Reels, as we know. So even if TikTok goes away, short form content will always be around, just like long form content has stood the test of time. So I think what's really important when you're thinking about making content in 2025 is to ask yourself, what do you enjoy consuming the most? When you think about social media and content creation, what got you into social media in the first place? For me, I can tell you, I started watching YouTube videos like when I was like in middle school, high school. So when I think about social media, what I'm the most passionate about is YouTube. So I put more of my effort into my YouTube channel and growing that. But maybe for you, you kind of got more into social media in the TikTok age. So maybe for you, short form content feels more natural to tap into. Despite what is going to be more popular, more trendy and easier to grow on in 2025, I really want you to ask yourself what feels the most natural to you. And I think it's going to be important to tap into that form of content, that style of content more. And I really do think that if you want to be really, really successful at this and take advantage of these different platforms, it's important to do both. So even though I prioritize my YouTube channel, I still do make short form content, and I do make good money from posting Instagram Reels. And with short form content, we know it's easier to kind of get views with short form content. It's easier to make. Virality is a bit easier when it comes to something like TikTok or Instagram Reels. And so I encourage you, if you're prioritizing long form content, figure out how can you tap into short form content to help you grow your YouTube channel or maybe your podcast or whatever it may be. And same thing with vice versa. If you're more into the short form content and just posting on Instagram and TikTok, maybe still consider having a vlog every now and then to show the behind the scenes of what you're doing, or have something where you're really connecting with your audience in that kind of long form setting. I think why long form content is so important is because it allows you to connect with your audience on a deeper level. Even though it takes some work, long form content in the end, I think does have more longevity. And I think, you know, the overall payout when it comes to long form content, when you think about something like YouTube AdSense, it's a bit better because even if you're not making money from brand deals, you can still make money from the ads on your videos. So I'm just saying this all to say it's really, really important to first ask yourself, what is more of a priority to you? And how can you use both of these styles of content, or maybe even photo content as well, to grow your brand and have an overarching theme for your brand? I really, really encourage you to not spread yourself too thin. Don't put too much energy into things just because they're popular, because the tide is always changing. That kind of like leads me into my next tip, which is to prioritize what you're passionate about and to get really, really good at it. Because social media has become such a popular and like desired job, a lot of people are in this for the money and they want to do things that are going to make them blow up quickly and get them brand deals quickly. But you have to recognize that people will see through that very, very fast. If you're not passionate about what you do, you will get burnt out, you will get bored, and so will your audience with your content. And so you really, really have to ask yourself and lean into what is the kind of content that you get the most excited about? What is the kind of content that you want to see? What's the kind of content that you're already consuming, and who are your favorite creators, and what are elements that are in their content that you enjoy consuming? And you need to really lean into that instead of focusing on what's popular in the moment. For me, like I can tell you, makeup, hair, I always know that those things are gonna pay. Like those type of brands do pay really, really well. But like I will never be, but like I've never been a really big makeup girl. And for me to try to come on here and do like a makeup tutorial with you guys, it just wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't connect with you guys because I'm not passionate about it myself. So whatever your vision is for your content, I want you to really have tunnel vision and lean into it in 2025. Really, really lock in and create from the heart instead of creating so much from the mind of a business. Because again, this is a business, but at the end of the day, the way I see it is content creation is in a way like a form of art. It's a form of self-expression. And when I say have tunnel vision, I mean you need to focus on creating and posting and sticking to a schedule and a routine. And we're gonna get into that in a second. You need to stick to that and kind of almost like have your head down, because the views will come, but when you're just focused on the views and the numbers and the money, it's not going to translate the way that you want. You need to focus on the craft of it. You need to get addicted to the process of creating. Find a schedule and stick to it and try to be as consistent as possible. And again, don't focus on the views, don't focus on having a quick come up, just post and get into a rhythm with it. So for me, like what I did when I was working at Amazon, when I had my 9 to 5, I was waking up at like 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, like every single day, so I could have time to go to the gym in the mornings. And then in between my work meetings, I'd be editing and filming my content. And then in the evenings, I'd be working like almost every night on my content. And then I was posting like 3 videos a week so that I could grow this channel. I also was leaning into TikTok at the time, and that's when I started growing my TikTok, my Instagram at the same time. So there was definitely a point where I was like kind of like a crazy person about this. And that's, I think, how I got to this point where I now am able to do this full time. And I don't think that you don't have to like be that drastic about it. I don't think 3 videos a week on YouTube is necessary, but I think it's really, really important more than anything that you're sticking to a schedule. And everyone is going to be a bit different. There's no exact formula in terms of a schedule for posting that I think everyone should follow. On YouTube, I think if you really want to grow a YouTube channel, you should be posting once a week minimum. But I think that if you're really trying to grow quickly, it's really helpful to post twice a week at least. So just try to show up every single week and know which days you're going to be posting what. And even if you mess up or you miss an upload, it's fine. Just start each week fresh. Someone who does a really good job of this is Alex Earl. One thing that you can say about her, because I do like to watch her content just to kind of see, I think it's very, very interesting to see. She has like what, 7 million followers on TikTok. She posts probably like 3 to 5 times a day, like without fail. Like the thing is, I think a lot of people think because of how quickly people come up on some of these social media platforms, people think it's just like, oh, put some work in and eventually it's gonna pay off and then you can kind of chill. When in reality, the people who are super successful at this are a bit insane. They post a lot, they work a lot. It looks easy, but it's not, right? You have to put in a lot of work for this. You have to, at some point, lock in and really just go crazy with it and just post. And it's not always just about quantity. Sometimes you really have to work on like that quality as well. But I think it's about just getting into a rhythm. Just remember that this is a long game. It's not a short come up just because we see some people come up very, very quickly. You definitely can do it. You could be the next Monet, you could be the next Alex Earl, you could be the next whoever. But what really is important is to figure out a rhythm with this and a longevity so that you enjoy posting, you don't burn yourself out, but you're also consistently showing up and consistently building your brand, even over a course of, I don't know, a few years. Especially with YouTube, it's not an overnight thing. It's gonna take some time. It is a bit of a long game, so you have to kind of commit to it. And again, that's why I say you have to like it. You have to enjoy it. You can't just be doing this for the money or the opportunities or the the likes or whatever. Like, you have to actually enjoy what you do, and sometimes it takes a bit of time to kind of figure out what you enjoy the best and the style of content that you like creating the best. But the only way you can learn that is by doing. So if something goes viral, like let's say you're doing fitness and health and wellness and like food content, right? And maybe you have one video that does really, really well that's like a food video. Do not then start just posting a bunch of food videos and cooking videos, because if you box yourself in too much and too quickly, you're gonna get bored, and also your audience is going to get bored as well, and it's gonna burn you out. Remember that you are a person with multiple interests, multiple things going on in your life. So show different sides of your personality. That's why I think having content pillars is really, really, really important, because it allows you to kind of lean into different things instead of just leaning into one avenue. So for me, you guys know I'm really into learning about the world and the way that people think and operate and how to kind of better yourself as a person. But I also post vlogs so that you can see what I'm doing in my life, and I'm not just trying to sit here and preach like I'm a perfect person, right? Like I like to learn about the world, but I also like to show me applying the lessons that I'm learning in real life. So that's why I also have my vlogs. I like also doing like fashion content. Really, really have your different interests and things, and don't worry so much about like, okay, like if like for me, for example, my fashion content does not get as much views as like maybe my other style of content, but I still enjoy posting it because it's like a way of expressing myself. So I really, really encourage you, do tap into the things that are getting you views and lean into that, because that's what people want to see more of from you. But again, don't niche yourself down too much to a point where that's all you do. And that kind of brings me into my last tip, which is to remember that you don't have to be perfect to start doing this or to just post where you're at in life at this moment in time, right? Remember that this is a journey, and that when you're trying to build a community online, you want to bring people along the journey with you. We can all acknowledge this, like there is privilege when it comes to this. There's pretty privilege, there's money privilege. If you fit a certain beauty standard and you already are wealthy, or maybe you come from a wealthy family, it's gonna be easier to grow. Or like, I see a lot of people say like, oh, I don't live, in an apartment that's really aesthetically pleasing, or I still live with my parents, and so it's hard. Like these things are very much real and valid. Like people do, just because of our internal biases, people are more likely to watch certain things than others. But like you just have to keep in mind that, again, you're on a journey for a reason, and there are always going to be people that you can connect with who are at similar places in life and who want to see people who are relatable to them, and they want to see people who are not perfect and don't have everything together and are still trying to figure it out, because that's who we are as humans. That's life. And so even though aspirational content will always be popular and it will always be a thing, there will always be room for, and there will also, I think, especially as we're entering into 2025 and people are getting tired of just seeing perfection and whatever, we're gonna see, I think, relatable content actually get more popular anyways. And so I just think it's really, really important to remind yourself that you don't have to wait until you have everything together, or until you look perfect, or until you're at a perfect weight, or whatever. You don't have to wait till you post, right? Like post now, post your journey. And if there's something that you're actually trying to improve in your life, like maybe you want to move to a different city, maybe you want to get healthier and go to the gym more, whatever that may be, show yourself in the process of doing it. Because again, that's how you connect with people, is through that character development and showing them the journey of you bettering yourself and getting to where you want to be, right? If you've been watching me from the beginning, you guys have seen me in college trying to figure myself out. You guys have seen me try to pay off my student loans. You guys have seen me in my 9-to-5 and quitting my 9-to-5. Like I've shown my journey. I have not been, I'm still trying to get to where I want to be in life. So just remember, you don't have to be perfect. Show up as you are. Show the journey of you getting to where you want to be in life, and whatever that kind of looks like for you. And that is going to resonate with people. I promise you it will. And you really, really have to kind of work on, as you're doing this, it's also really important to take time to work on your self-image and work on how you view yourself, because it is a very mentally challenging thing to show up and put yourself out there online. It can be very, very scary. Posting yourself kind of goes hand in hand with your journey of loving yourself and accepting yourself, and, again, wanting to better certain things that you don't like about yourself. Even if you don't feel like you have it all together, just remember that that's okay. Nobody does, and you are worthy of showing up anyways. There's people in this world who need to see you exactly and need to see exactly where you're at and what you have to say and the things that you're going through, because it's going to, there's someone in the world that is going to help and to inspire. And so you have to remind yourself that, like, when you first start out, it's kind of like scary because it's like, who the fuck wants to watch me? Like, I'm just, you know, you're not getting any views. You're just having to kind of like show up and just hope that people want to watch you. But eventually over time, as you start doing this more and more, you will naturally start finding your people because you're showing up and you're posting and you're recognizing. To post yourself, you have to already somehow, in some way, recognize your inherent value and recognize, like, okay, I'm bringing something to the table, right? So I'm just saying, so to say, just post. Like, just don't overthink, just do it and post. And don't just rely on the views to bring you validation. Be constantly working on your own self-image and how you feel about yourself. I have a video on this. It's a lot more detailed that kind of talks about this when it comes to content creation, so I'll link it somewhere. But it's just really, really important that you do that inner work to really understand, like, okay, you know, we all have our things that we're a bit insecure about and that we have to work on, but you really, really have to kind of, you have to believe in yourself and you have to see your own value if you want other people to see it too. So yeah, I hope this made some sense, you guys. Just really, really hope, like, the main takeaway from this video is that you can do it. And really the key when it comes to content and posting and growing a platform is to fall in love with the craft, really figure out what it is that you're passionate about and like what you want to be seeing, what you want to see posted from other people, and make that what you're posting yourself. Put your head down, lock in, focus for 2025, and just post. Just show up, just do it. Don't think about it, just do it and stick to a routine. And I promise you, you will see some results. So yeah, I love you guys so much. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are having an amazing end to your year, and I hope that you're getting some rest and you're really preparing, because I feel like next year is going to be a good year. So yeah, I love you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.